Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Shravanti and you're watching She Explains Everything. So today I'm back with another video on Microsoft Word for beginners. So I'd like to do this in parts, and in part one of the video, we will basically explore Microsoft Word. How do you open it? How do you create a document? How do you save it? And what is the command tabs that are available on Microsoft Word? And specifically, we will look into the commands present inside the Home tab of the Microsoft Word application, right? And what we're going to also do is, since this is a beginner level video, we will basically look into the basic features that are needed to use Microsoft Word. So this can be beneficial for students or teachers or IT professionals or anybody who's trying to use Microsoft Word, be it for creating maybe, I don't know, a resume or a document where you have to submit your homework, or for teachers who are trying to look to prepare a question paper, for any use case, right? And we look at all the basic features that are available that we can make use of to use Microsoft Word for various use cases that we need in our day-to-day life. All right, so let's dive into it now. Okay. So the first thing is, how do you open Microsoft Word? Now, in all likelihood, if you have your laptop or desktop, the Microsoft Office suite must be already installed for you. So how do you find that is, in my laptop, in my case, if you see, they're all pinned to my taskbar at the bottom. So I can directly open it from here. But in case it's not pinned for you, what you can do is go to the start window and click here and type Word. And as I keep typing, I will find more detailed, elaborate options that are related to Word. So there is a Word option over here. Now, what you can do is, if you want to kind of pin it to the taskbar the way I have done it, you can right click on this and you will get a pin option. I'm getting an unpin option because mine is already pinned. But you can click on the pin to start, pin from start and pin to taskbar, right? Based on whether you want it to be pinned to the start window or pinned to the taskbar itself. This is your taskbar and this is the start window. So you can pin it that way, right? Or if not, you can always come back to the start window and open up a Word document from here. Okay. So once you open it, this is basically what our interface starts looking like. So we have three things over here, which is the home, new, open, and these are some additional options, account options, etc. Okay. So within the home, what you look at is, there is a new tab over here where you have a list of new documents that you can create, and there are more templates as well over here. And this is primarily used to create a new document. Now, suppose you want to open some existing documents, you also can find those here. There is a recents and there's a favorites. Like if I've marked something as a favorite, I can find it under this. And if some document was shared with me, I can probably find it under this. I don't have anything that has been shared with me yet, so I don't have anything on this laptop. But if you go to recents, these are some of my recent documents as well. I can open some existing documents from here. However, if I want to create a new document, I can either do it from here or I can click on the new as well over here. So once I click on new, you will see a blank document here. And what you also see over here is an array of options of templates. So sometimes you can just probably click on one of these templates also and get started. For example, if you're looking to prepare a resume, you can probably just open a template from here and use it. Let's say there are different other options, like, there's a calendar, there is a invitation. So there are a variety of options over here. And apart from this, if you're specifically looking for some categories for which you want some templates, you can also click on these. Like if I click on business, I have some business templates. If I click on flyers, I probably have a list of, flyer options as well over here. So I can use these templates as well. But for today, to understand Microsoft Word, we will get into a blank document in order to be able to understand the features that are available. Okay. So for that, what we do is we can click on this blank document. And once you click on it, this is what your interface now looks like, right? So before we get started with the features and typing something out over here, let's just quickly see the names of some of these things, what they're called. Okay. So if you see, the top part over here is called as your quick access toolbar. So the benefit or the purpose of your quick access toolbar is basically to pin some of your commands that are present inside these. If you see, there are a lot of tabs here, right? Home, insert, design, and you see a lot of commands inside each of these command tabs. Now, let's say there are specific features or functionality functionalities within these tabs that I frequently use, and I don't want to go to it every single time, and it is time consuming. Let's say there is some feature here that I frequently use. What I can do is I can pin it to my quick access toolbar so that I can quickly come here, and it's like a shortcut. I can quickly use that from here itself. Okay, so that's your quick access toolbar. Now there's a customize option. If you see, there are some that are already pinned, like undo, redo, save. That is what you're seeing over here. There's a save option, undo, and a redo option that is pinned over here. Let's say I kind of want to pin the read aloud feature. So read aloud is another option on Microsoft Word, wherein if you have a text and you kind of want to it to be read aloud to you, then that option is also available on Microsoft Word. So if I just click this, then the read aloud also will start getting pinned for me. Or what I also can do is I can customize it as well. So I can go to more commands, and let's say there is some feature that is not already present over there, and I kind of want to add that also to my quick access toolbar because I use it frequently. Let's say I frequently use a text highlight option, right? I don't know, sometimes I maybe use it very frequently. So I can just click on this, click on add, and once I click on add, I just click on OK. And now what happens is that has also been added to my quick access toolbar here. See? So that has been added over here. That's the benefit of it. Now I can go and uncheck it also if I really don't want it to be present, right? So how do I can uncheck my read aloud. I don't really want that also right now. And I can also go and uncheck or remove this, right? If I can't uncheck it from there, I go back and I just remove it, and I click on OK. So it has been removed from here. Okay, so that's your quick access toolbar. And for those of you who don't know, this is called minimize. This is just going to minimize your window. It's right here itself, but just got minimized. You can go back and open it as well. And this is just going to shrink the size of the window, and this is going to maximize it again. And this is to close your document. Okay, so this is the primary part over here. Now coming over here, this is called as your command tab. Okay, and these are the various command tabs that are present: file, home, insert, design, layout, etc. And basically the different variety of commands with available within Microsoft Word have been classified into categories, and they've been put. One is your home tab and one is your insert tab. So all the insert commands will be present inside your insert tab, all the design commands will be present inside the design tab, layout commands inside layout, etc. Right? So that's how it has been categorized. Now we will primarily first start exploring the home tab, because a majority of the basic features of Microsoft Word you will find within your home tab itself. So what we're going to look at is the features under this today. Now if you look within each command tab also, again they're further classified, right? You see there's a clipboard, font, paragraph, styles, editing. So again what they've done is they've grouped similar commands and put them into further categories, right? Font, for example, if you see font, this is everything related to how can you format your text. Like if I just type my name and I just want to format this and make it look a certain way, like bold, and then I can underline it, right? So this is all related to the formatting of your text. So they've put all these commands under the font category. Okay, that's how they've classified this. So a good way to get to understand what a command would likely be related to would be to look at these things: clipboard, font, paragraph. It will give you an idea of what is that command going to be used for. Okay, now let's start looking at these. Okay, before we look at cut, copy, paste, and format painter, which is the clipboard section of it, let's primarily focus on the font part of it. This is what is largely used for formatting your text. Okay, so what do we mean by formatting your text? Let's just say I'm going to type something as MS Word for beginners. Okay, let's say this is a document. Sorry, so what happened over here is the bold and underline were actually selected already. That's why it started applying those features. What we'll do is let's remove this and let's just click back on this. So they've got unchecked right now. Okay, let's just start from scratch. My MS Word for beginners. Okay, now what I want to do is, this is the title of my document. Okay, and because it's the title of my document, I kind of want it to be big in size, right? I don't want it to be so small and pushed to one corner, right? So first thing that I'll do is bold. Okay, this is bold. So if you look at these commands, another thing that you can notice is if you just hover over them, it tells you what the command is, and it also gives you a shortcut for the command. If you see, it says bold, and the shortcut for it is Control B on your keyboard. So you don't always have to come and click here. You can also do it from your keyboard. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to click on it. Okay, so whatever was my text, it became a little bold, right? Now what I can also do is I can unbold it. So bold or unbold, both of them are the same thing. It's just like a button, on off button, right? I can click on it and then it goes away as well. So it is used for both doing it and for undoing it also. Okay, so let's say I just want to keep it as bold. You have bold options, you have something for italics, and okay, italics is basically, it becomes a little slant in nature. Let's say I want to underline my text. So I have underlined it as well, and there are different styles of underlining. Let's say I want, a double line instead of a single line, so, or a thicker line, or let's say I want a double line. So that's what it's starting to look like. Okay, so for my title, I don't really want to underline it right now, so what I can do is none. If I don't want to underline anything, I click on none. Okay, I kind of don't want it to, my title to be italics also. Let's say I want it to be bigger in size. So how do you change the size of your title? This is the font size option. If you see, so here you have a list of sizes: 8, 10, 12, 14. Each time you increase it, it's going to increase the size as well. Let's say I want it to be like 28, right? I make it this. Now let's say I don't really like the style in which this title is written. Okay, this is called Calibri. So now here you have a variety of styles that you can explore. See, I can do this. So each time I change it, I can see what it's starting to look like as well. So let's say I just want it to be something like fancy like this. Okay, maybe I just want it to look like this. So I've done that as well. So this is for your font style, this is for your font size. You can make it bold, italics, or underline it. And underlining, you have again different options, and you have underlining colors as well. Let's say I just want to underline it in yellow for some reason, okay, to make it look like this. So I can even change the colors from here, and there are underline options here. If I don't want an underline, I can do this. Again, there are a variety of underline options here. Okay, so those are the primary formatting features. Now another thing over here that you see is, each time that you kind of want to change the format of your text, you'll have to select that. Okay, without selecting, it's not going to get applied. You either, what you can do is click on the enter, and you either select them first and then you start typing, because it's all, my bold is already on, so it's coming in bold. Or if you want to change it after you have already typed, then you will have to select it and probably unbold it. And let's say I kind of want to reduce the size of this to 9. Okay, so I can do that as well. But I'll have to select it to apply each of the formatting each time. So now let's also see this, these two options over here. So this is also for your font size itself. So I can either change the font size by coming here and selecting some of the predefined numbers for increasing the font size, and this is for decreasing the font size by to the next closest pointer that is available over here. Okay, so now that we have looked at the font size, let's now have a look at the case. So normally we know the different types of cases that exist, right? Uppercase, lowercase, etc. So let's say for some reason, like, I've typed an entire document of 10 pages long, and now for some reason I want the entire document to be in uppercase, all of the letters to be in all caps. I can't really sit and type it all over again, right? So there's an option that we have in Word for that as well. So if you can see here, there's a change case option. So let's say I just select this, and I have different options here. Either I have like lowercase or uppercase. And if you see over here, it is written in the case for your understanding. Sentence case, the S, the first letter, first alphabet of the sentence will be in caps. For lowercase, everything will be in all lowercase. Uppercase, everything will be in caps. Capitalize each word. If you see, each word is in the first alphabet of every word is in capital, and toggle case is like a mixed case, right? So toggle case is basically the first alphabet of the word will be in small letters and the rest will be in caps, if you notice that. Okay, so for some reason, if I want it all to be in uppercase, I can choose uppercase, and that's what it will look like. Let's say I just put lowercase just to play around. This is what it will look like. I want to keep it in uppercase. Let me just do that right now. Okay, so this is how you'll be able to change the case of any selected text. Also, to apply any changes, we also know that you will have to make the selection. So you'll need to either select it and then apply the changes, or you can already place your cursor. There is no text over here. You can apply whatever changes you want. For example, let's say from here onwards, I want the text to not be in bold, but I want it to be in italics, and I kind of want it to be all in lowercase. Then when I start typing it, that's what it's going to look like. So I either set the formatting for the text before, or I can select the text later on and also do the formatting for it. Okay, So now another option we'll explore is the strike through over here. So for some reason, I have, let's say, I have just typed something. Let's make it a little smaller right now. And for someone's name, I've typed over here as part of the document, and I don't really want it to be there. I just strike it through. But let's say I kind of need it for future reference in the document to discuss it with someone else. Then I'll just keep it, but I'll also strike it through so that I can go forward for discussion. That's a strike through option. Then next interesting option is probably for teachers. Let's say you guys are trying to set up a question paper or something, and if you're a mathematics teacher especially, this will be very useful for you, the subscript and the superscript option. So let's say I want to type the formula. Let's just remove the bold first because it's a little not readable, and move to Calibri. Okay, so let's say I want to type the formula of a plus b whole square. Now let's also remove the strike through, because the strike through is turned on. It's what's coming like this. Turn it off. Okay, so how do you get this 2 to become a superscript? So just select the 2 and press the superscript option over here. There's a subscript as well and a superscript. This is the superscript. Okay, make it like this. Now to turn it off again, you will have to press back on it, and I can now type the formula a square. So I need to do again a superscript, a square, and remove the superscript, plus b square. Again, I'll have to turn into superscript, plus, and I'll have to turn it off now, so that plus 2ab. Okay, so that's how you use the superscript format. And let's say you want to type an equation of the nature of maybe the slope of a line kind of equation, right? That would be y2 minus y1. Let's just do it in all small. Y2 minus y1 is equal to m into x2 minus x1. I hope I'm typing the correct formula. If not, please excuse my formula, but I'm just showing you how to use the subscript. So just select it, and this will become your subscript. Also, a useful feature over here would be if you kind of want to do it for multiple things, right? I want the 1 here, the 2 here, the 1 here, and the 2 over here, all of them to become a subscript. So I can also do a multi-selection, and that's a shortcut on Word and the Microsoft Office itself. How do you do that is basically you just press Control on your keyboard and select whatever you want to select now. Like I've just clicked on Control, and let me just select. First you select a 1. After you select 1, click on Control and then select the remaining ones. So I will be able to do a multi-selection like this. Okay, and in this manner I will be able to convert all of them to a subscript. If you just want me to repeat that, it's just basically make your first selection, whichever one you want to make, and then click on the Control. If you click Control, it will basically keep this intact, and it will also allow you to select others also as well, and you can apply the feature on all of those at a time. Okay, so that is that, and I kind of want to make this lowercase, so let me just go here and make it lowercase. Okay, so that's how you use the subscript and superscript option. Now a couple of other things that you can explore over here is there is something called as these text effects. So let's just say that I kind of want to make my title look a little fancier, and I don't want, this is not sufficient for me, like whatever is over here I'm not very impressed, and I want to make it look a little fancier. Like there are a couple of other options here that I can try out. See, if I do this, it'll look like this, or a little graphic fancier options that you can try out. Okay, and under these you again have sub options where there's an outline. So let's say this is in blue, but I kind of want the outline to be in yellow so that it stands out. It actually doesn't look good, so I'll just make the outline something else. Let's just say I make the outline green. Okay, so that's what it will look like. So there are other options as well over here which you can explore. Like there's a shadow effect. These are the different types of shadows that are there. You can probably play around with those and give it a little bit of shadow effect. And there'll be also a reflection where your alphabet is having a reflection below. If you see, there's a reflection over here. So if I want to make it look like that, I can do that as well. And a couple of other options here, right, that you can just play around with. There's also a glow option, and there are styles for numbers. Your numbers can look like this, or they can look like this, or they can look like the proportional old style numbers. So there are different types of numbers also that you can try, and these are different things that you can explore eventually. But for beginners, you can just play around with these graphic features and select whatever you feel like. to make it look a little more interesting. Okay. The next feature that we'll explore is the text highlight color. So let's say for some reason I kind of want to type this as a note in my question paper, and I'm just giving the formula to my students, and I want to highlight this note so that people don't miss out on it. So this is the text highlight option, and I can highlight it in whichever color I feel like highlighting, right? So I can highlight it, and if I kind of want to remove it, or if something is already highlighted and I don't want to, then you can also go to no color as well. Okay. So I'm putting the highlight right now. Okay, that's the text highlight option. Now there's also a text color option. So let's say for some reason I want this formula to look like, to be in green instead. So different colors, you can play around with the colors. There are a lot of options here. Let's say I put this formula in green, and there are more colors also, right? Over here, you can just go to more colors, and there's a standard format from which you can pick these colors, or there's a custom where, you can sort of play around with these features and select optimum color that you feel like. Yeah, a wide array of color options are also available, so you can explore those from here as well. Okay. So yeah, these are primarily the font options. And before we move ahead to the clipboard and paragraph, another thing is the clear formatting option. So let's say for some reason I have done all of this formatting, but I just don't like it, and I'm just like, okay, I can't go ahead and remove each of these, right? So now to remove each of these, imagine what I will have to do. I will have to probably, remove the green, make it black back into black. I will have to remove the highlight, and I'll have to select a multiple array of options to bring it back to its original state. So what I can do is clear the formatting altogether. There's an option over here which says clear all formatting. So I've cleared all the formatting, but the problem over here is the squares, the superscript has also gone, because that also comes as a part of your formatting. So in case you don't want to do that, you can just undo it. But basically clear formatting is what it does. So let's say for example I kind of clear the formatting for this because I don't like it now, and I want to take it back to its original shape so that I can reapply new things and try it out. So I just do a clear formatting, it's come back to its original shape, right? Or I'll just keep it for our convenience. Now I'll just keep what we have done, but that's the clear formatting option. Okay. All right. So the next thing that we will look into is the clipboard section. Okay. The primary things that you'll find in the clipboard section are cut, copy, and paste, and a format painter. Okay. So cut, copy, and paste, for those of you who don't know, the difference between cut and copy is that, let's say for some reason, I want to paste the formula of a minus b whole square, and I don't want to type the whole thing again because the formula is pretty much the same. There's just a small change to it, right? So for some reason, I just want to copy it, and I kind of want to give both of these formulas in my references. So all I do is I'll make the selection, and I can either copy it from here, or on my keyboard, the shortcut will be Control C. Okay, so I'm just pressing on Control C. So what happens when you click on copy is that it's going to make a copy of this original version and save it to the clipboard. A clipboard is like a temporary location on your Word application, which you will not be able to see, but it has saved it to its clipboard. And when I click on paste, it will be able to give me a pasted a copy of the previous one. So this is one version of it, and a copy of this has been made and saved to the clipboard. And now when I click on paste, it will be able to paste it, give me a second copy of it. What do I mean by that? I can just either click on paste over here, or I can do a Control V also as a shortcut. Okay, let's just click on paste. So the same thing, basically the original one has not been deleted. Now what's the difference between cut and copy is that, let's say I just do cut. Okay, let me undo this and show you what cut will do. So if I just select this and I click on cut, the difference is that when I cut it, it's going to remove it from this place and copy it to the clipboard and keep it aside. And when I paste it, it's going to repaste it in a new location. So if I do cut, which is Control X is the shortcut, it's just going to remove it from this. And for some reason, now it's gone to the clipboard, and whatever is there on the clipboard is what will come back when I use paste as an option. So when I'm trying to paste it now, Control V, it has gotten pasted, right? So what happens between cut and copy is that in case of copy, whatever text you have copied, it will make a copy of it and save it in the clipboard, and it will not delete the original or cut the original version. And when you try to paste it, it will give you a second copy of the original one, okay, or a copy of the original one rather. Versus what happens in the case of cut is the original copy itself will get cut and saved in the clipboard, and that will be brought back to you when you paste it somewhere. Okay, that's the main difference between cut and paste. Sorry, cut and copy. So in this case, right now, I just want to copy it because I don't want to delete my first formula. I want my first formula to be present as it is, and I want to add one more formula over here, right, for a minus b. So what I will do in my case is I will copy it. Okay, so Control C and Control V. So you can either click on paste here or Control V on your keyboard. Okay, now I just want to make a small change. I want to paste the formula for a minus b whole square. There's only a small change, so I'll make it now. This makes it convenient for me, right? Okay, so another thing that you need to know is the varieties of paste options that are there, right? If you drop down over here, you'll actually see a couple of options over here. So what does this basically mean? So whatever has been stored in your clipboard, you can paste it in different ways. What are these different ways? So if you see, just click on, hover your mouse over this, you will see that there are different options which say keep the source formatting, merge the formatting, picture, and keep text only. Let's just kind of like explore what this is, right? So to explain that to you, let me just bring some text that I have in another Word document. If you see over here, I'll just copy this part, right? It has some formatting. If you see, there's some blue text, there are some bullet points, whatever, right? So let me just copy this. How am I copying it? Control C on my keyboard or copy over here. Okay. Now let me go back to my Word document. Now if you see, I can either paste from here or I can do Control V on my keyboard, or I can right click over here and see the paste option. So whatever paste options you see over here when I right click are the same paste options that I'm seeing over here. Okay, so now what I can do is, let me just show you what it means when we say keep source formatting. Keep source formatting means whatever is the source from which I have copied this text, I want the formatting of that to be intact. I don't want the formatting to be lost. Okay, so when I paste this, you will notice that whatever it was the formatting of the text that I had copied, everything is the same, including the color of the bullet points, the color of this, everything, right? All of it has stayed intact, which means none of it has been removed. I have kept the source formatting as is. Okay, this is one option. Now let me undo it and show you the next option. There is one which says keep the merge formatting. Okay, so what does merge formatting mean? Basically, whatever is the formatting of this space over here, wherever I'm pasting it, which is my destination formatting, right? In this case, let us say, for example, the text is green over here. Okay, let's say I just make it some blue text. Okay, let's say I make it blue and I kind of want it to be highlighted also in gray, and let's say, I apply some other style to it like this, and then I make the size smaller, 10. Okay, now what happens is when I paste it right now, I'm saying keep the destination, sorry, merge formatting. Merge formatting basically means whatever is the formatting that has been applied in this space, wherever I'm pasting the text, that will be the formatting that will be applied now to the pasted content, right? So whatever is the formatting, what is the formatting of this? See, if you notice, the formatting is changing from here again. Okay, up to this point the formatting is one. If you notice, if you just highlight it, the formatting is the same up to this point, but from here it's kind of changing. Okay, so it's a mixed formatting over here. Let me just make it uniform, all of it. Let me make it all blue and highlighted in gray, and let's say all of it is, Algerian, and all of it is of size 10. So this is made uniform now. So when I paste it, what happens is it is going to paste the formatting that has been applied over here. And of course, like, how much ever space that text is going to occupy, the formatting that is present on each line will be applied to each line of the text that I'm pasting right now. So let me just paste it over here, starting from here. Okay, and show you what happens. So now that I have pasted it, it has lost its original formatting. This was the original formatting. Now I have chosen the option of keep the merge formatting with the formatting that is present on my new document. Okay, that's my next option. So we've seen the two options where we have done, you know let's say, so let's also keep the other one just for reference. Okay, keep source formatting. So that was keep source formatting, and this is the merge formatting. And the next feature is picture. So the another thing that Word is also capable of doing is, if I copied text from somewhere onto my clipboard, I can also paste it in the form of a picture. So I'll just click on picture and show you. Now the same content that I've copied has turned into a picture. Now, I can enlarge it, I can make it a little smaller. This has just become an image right now for me. So I mean, in our context of whatever I've copied right now, it doesn't make sense, but it can be very useful in some scenarios where you want to paste the whole text as an image, so that you don't want it in the form of a text anymore. So wherever is your use case, based on that you can convert it into an image also. That's your other option. Okay. And there's another option which is basically keep text only. So basically keep text only, what it will do is there is no formatting, there is nothing. Whatever is the text, it will just give you that text itself. So there is no formatting as such that we are bothered about. So it's pretty much the same as it's sort of similar. The merge formatting and keep text only are sort of similar, but the only difference between the two options is, in case of merge formatting, it basically merges the formatting of whatever text has been copied along with the formatting of the new document. But what it does is it primarily preserves the text formatting options, such as text size, text style, text color, and highlights, or any of those things which are available in your new document. That will be preserved, and it will try to embed the text that you're bringing into this text formatting style, right? Whereas keep text only, what it does is it removes the formatting completely of the original text that you're bringing, and it pastes it into the destination file with the destination formatting completely. So it does not preserve any of the original formatting that was present anymore. So it just completely removes it and pastes it into the formatting of your destination folder. Okay. So based on your use case, you can decide which one you want to use. If you kind of want it to completely be of the formatting of the new place, then just do a keep text only, because that will remove the formatting that you brought, all the formatting from your original document. And if you want to merge formatting, where you want to kind of keep some of the aspects of it, and you wanted to merge the formatting, basically you want to merge that text with the formatting on this document, you can use a merge option. Okay. But these are basically the four options that you can use while pasting. Based on your use case, you can decide which one you want to use. Okay. So the next thing we'll see is format painter, which is a very, very important topic on Word, which is very useful throughout the Microsoft Office suite, right? So what does format painter do? Now, let's say for some reason, I really love the formatting of this part of the text, right? But I don't really remember what all I did. I don't remember where I went, what I selected, what is the size. I don't really know. And it's going to be a tedious task for me to reapply that onto another piece of text, right? So for some reason, let's say I don't remember it and I kind of want to paste. Let's just say that I want to apply the formatting that I've applied to MS Word for beginners to my introduction section also, because I really like the look of this. So how do I do that? What you have to do is just basically select your text over here and click on the format painter option. Once it's clicked, you just need to take it and apply it over whichever area you want to apply it over, and that will also absorb the same formatting that you have applied to this selected text and you have used with which you have used the format painter. Okay. One more thing to note with the format painter option is, basically if you have noticed, there is a single click and a double click option on format painter. What does it do? If I basically select my text and just do a single click, then I will be able to apply the formatting only once throughout my document, wherever it is. I don't know, let's say I think I want to apply it on introduction and Anupam. It's gotten applied and my cursor has come back to normal state, right? Now let's say I want to apply it to multiple places. Let me just undo this and let me double click and show you what happens. If I double click on format painter, let's say I wanted to apply it on introduction and I also want to apply it on this paragraph over here. Okay, but each time I don't want to go there and select. Let me show you what happens. Let me apply it on introduction. Now after, sorry, yeah, I have applied it on introduction, but if you see, my cursor still is holding the format intact. If you see, the cursor is looking different. I can go ahead and apply it here as well. Okay, that is what is the difference between a single click and a double click. If you single click it, you will be able to use the format painter only once, wherever you want to apply the formatting. If you use double click, you will be able to apply it multiple times throughout the document. Okay, that is the format painter. Now let me just undo this. Okay, great. So this is the clipboard section. We have seen the font section. Now let's get into the paragraph section. Okay. All right. So now let us say in the next part of my document, sorry, let's just take this back, and let's say in the next part of my document, I for some reason want to type out a list. Okay, list. I'll just give you an example. Let me kind of clear the formatting from here. Okay. let me just clear the formatting over here. I'll just apply a clear formatting. Okay, list of cities in India. Okay, and I'm just making a list Bengaluru and okay, I've just made a quick list of some cities over here. And let's say that I kind of want to put these in bullet points, right? I want to make a list. So let's say I want to put bullet points. This is the option over here, bullets. So just click on it and see what happens. So it's given me bullets, right? Now I get to play around with a couple of options here. I can use whatever bullets I want, these black bullet as a dot, or I can use arrow marks, or I can use a tick mark. There are a variety of options. And what you can also do is you can also define a new bullet. If there's some symbol that you want to use specifically which is not already present here, I can just go here and click on symbol. And I can choose my symbol, like, for some reason I just want to use a star. And, now I can add it. I click on OK. So now it has become a star. A star has also gotten added to my list here. Okay, so this is how I can use the bullets. Now, if I don't want bullets, I just click on none. But if I want bullets, I'll go back and click on these bullets. Okay. Now let's say, I don't really like these bullets for this specific concept because I kind of want to number it so that I know that, how big my list is. With this, the problem is that I have bullets, but I don't really know the numbers. How many cities have I listed, right? So let's say I want to give it a numbering kind of structure. So what I do is I'll select my text again. This is the symbol bullets and these are the numbering bullets. Okay, click on it. So it becomes numbered, right? Now I also have different styles of numbers that I can pick. I have Roman numerals, I have, like, with a dot, with brackets. There are just a variety of options over here. And I can choose whichever. I can choose alphabets also if I want. I can choose numbers, whatever I want, right? Okay. Now one more thing to explore over here in this area itself is, let's say I also want to make a list of cities in US. Okay, let's just say I want to make this. Now let's say, I kind of number it as New York and, uh, Washington DC. I just hope, okay, let's just say that I've started numbering this, but for some reason I want the list numbering to continue from where we left off, because I want a list of all the cities in the world. But out of all the cities in the world, I have also classified it into India, US, etc. But I kind of want a list of all the cities. So at that point, what will be useful is I want the numbering to continue. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and it's become 1, 2 here. Let's say for some reason I just want the numbering to continue. How do I do that? I'll just select the one over here, just click here, right? And right click on it. Either you can right click on it or you can do it from the drop down here. There's a set numbering value, or I can just right click on this, and you can also say continue numbering. There's a continue numbering option over here. I can either click on this, so it has become 6, 7, or let's say I just want to kind of set numbering also. Okay. I'll just undo this right now, and let's say I kind of want to set the numbering value. So at this point I can specifically select, either I can select 6, or if I want to start the numbering from, let's say for some reason I just want to start it from 10, I can do that also. So now it's going to become 10, 11 instead of 1 and 2. Okay, I can either do that, or I can also select this part and just say continue numbering from wherever it was, right? So continue numbering after 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is what the is another important thing that you need to keep in mind with numbering. All right, now let's say for some reason I kind of want to list inside of Bengaluru. Now also another thing is, if I just type enter from here, you'll see that the number starts growing. If I type 2 and enter, if I just type enter, it will go to the next number. Okay, either I can click on enter one more time, or what I can also do is I can click on shift and enter. If I do shift and enter, it stays like this. Okay, now for some reason, let's say I kind of want to list out all some locations also in Bangalore. Let me just type a few locations: RR Nagar, JP Nagar, Jayanagar. Okay, I've just typed some locations over here. Sorry, I don't want a number here, so I'll just click backspace here. Okay, now what happens over here is, this is a list within a list, right? Within Bengaluru, this is one more list that I'm making, and this becomes a multi-level list. So within Chennai also, I might have XYZ places, right? So I do know places in Chennai. I don't want to mess up the spelling, so let me just type XX and YY. Okay, I don't want to, like, spell it wrong, so let's just keep it like this and see. So what's happening is I have a list within a list right now. So let's say I kind of want to number these also right now, but I want to number it in a way that it becomes a list within a list. So how do I do that? So how do you do that is basically select your entire thing, and there's something called as a multi-level list here. So what I can do is I can just click on it. So once I click on multi-level list, I can choose whichever option I want. Do I kind of want like it to look like this, or my numbering, for my numbering, this would be what I kind of would prefer. So let me just click on this and see. Okay, it's not coming out properly, so let's just kind of select this part and click on multi-level list and select this. Okay, so the indentation is not appropriate. Just give. Yes, so the mistake that we're doing over here is when we go back to one, what we need to do is click on enter. When I enter, it's saying 2, but I don't want it to be 2. So I kind of just click backspace. Okay. And same way, this will also come here. And these are the next set of list within a list. Same way here, what I have to do is I have to click on enter and remove the numbering. Okay. And that's what I'm doing. Now let me select the whole thing and click on multi-level list, and let's say this is what I want to pick. So if you see this right now, there's a concept called as indentation. So how is this multi-level list basically identifying a list within a list? That is based on your indentation. Indentation is basically if Bengaluru is indentation is basically how you type your list, right? So if my first list is aligned from right here, right? Let's just say that my first list is aligned from here. Let's just say I type Bengaluru here. Okay. Now what I do is I go to the next line and I indent it a little bit, right? Let me just go back and go to the next line and I indent the next line. When I indent the next line and I type, let's say, RR Nagar and JP Nagar. Now I have indented the next two lines. Okay. I've indented it. JP Nagar. I have clicked on indentation. This is your indentation option. Okay. Now what happens is when I select this whole thing, it has understood that this is one level of starting. This is the next level of starting. And if I want to, I can further indent this one more time also to the right. Okay. Depending on how many times I want to indent it. If I indent it twice, I will get 1.1.1. If I indent it once, I will get 1.1. Let's just see what happens. Click on this and select the multi-level list. See, that's what exactly I was talking about. If I indented RR Nagar and JP Nagar one time, I will get 1.1. Let's say I indent this one more time and I click on this indentation. Then it will become 1.1.1, because that is how your multi-level list is able to recognize which number to assign to it based on the indentation. If there is one indent after the main list, it will give you a 1.1. If there are two indents after it, it will make a list within a list within a list. Let's say I kind of indent it one more time, it's going to increase. For some reason, let's say I just indent and remove the indentation and bring it back near Bangalore. Then it will become the same indentation, which means it assumes that this is not a list within a list, this is a single list itself. Got it? So that is how you use the concept of indentation also. So let's say I don't like it that it's, this is just a list within a list. I don't need 1.1.1. All I need over here is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So what I need to do is reduce the indentation by 1. Okay, that's how it applies. All right. So that's the concept of bullets and numbering, and also a multi-level list. And within a multi-level list, how do you create a list within a list? And how does your multi-level list identify whether, which is the list within the list, is where the concept of indentation comes. If you indent it once, it means that the list that is coming a is a list within the first list. If you indent it twice, it means that it is basically a list within the list within the list. Got it? That might be a little confusing, but if you pause over here with whatever we have done and you kind of try this out on your own, it will be completely clear to you. And you can just replay the example over here that we have done with, type out your text as Bengaluru and type the two things beneath it with one single indentation and apply the multi-level list. So before applying a multi-level list, always be sure to do the indentation correctly. Okay, with whether it's a one indent or a two indent, ensure that, because this is what is going to determine how Word will recognize your multi-level list and assign numbers to it. Okay. Yeah, so that is about the lists and indentation. Okay. Now let's discuss one more thing, which is, let's say for some reason now you kind of want to arrange these cities that you have in alphabetical order. Okay. let me just copy these, and let me come to a new part, and let me just say I typed these. Okay, and let's say I kind of wanted to start the numbering over here, restart at 1 right over here. I kind of want to restart over here. Now let's say for some reason I kind of want to sort these in alphabetical order. I have a sorting option over here. Just click on this, and I want to basically sort it by text. There's also an option for number. If it's number, then it'll stay the same because it's already sorted 1 2 3 4 5. I want to sort it by text, so I'll just say text and I'll say okay. So if you see, it has gotten sorted, or it was already sorted out. Okay, I think it was already sorted out. So let's explore a descending order just for example. Okay, so it's gotten sorted in the descending order now. All right, so that's a sort option. Okay, the next thing that we will check is basically the alignment of your text. Okay, so to do that, let me just copy and go to the next page, and let me just copy a piece of text from here for us to understand this concept. Let's just say I copy this, and I paste it in the new section, and let's just say I just remove formatting. I don't want it to be any formatting, right? Let me just say I remove the highlights. Okay, okay, so basically what is the concept over here is, let's say, for some reason, let's go to the top, and let's say this, is basically this is called as left aligned, so it is towards the left of the page. Sometimes you would have seen that the heading of a document is center aligned, so I can click on the center option over here. Sometimes when you're also creating reports or resumes or things like that, you kind of want the title to be at the right corner of the page. Then I click on right alignment, align right also. Okay, so this is basically the alignment options: left align, center, and right align. Okay, so you can do the same thing with your headings, or you can also do it with your paragraphs, whatever it is, right? So here also, if I want it to be center or right, whatever I want, I'll just keep it left right now. Now, another important option that you need to remember over here is the justification option. So when you say justified text, for many of you students or teachers who are kind of submitting a thesis, or a report, or finally a project or things like that, you are required to kind of print your document, right? So when you're printing your document, your professors might have most likely told you to kind of justify the text. So what does justifying the text mean? If you notice over here, the different words are ending at different points, like this is ending here, this is ending here, this is here. It's not looking very clean, right? So what happens when you justify your text is, just select your text. What happens is, it will start at the same point and it will also end at the same point. So let me just, sorry, justify, this is called as the justified text. If you do that, what happens is, it looks cleaner. So everything is ending at the same point and everything is also starting at the same point. Okay, this is very useful in case of you're looking to kind of print your document or something, where it needs to look clean and starts at the same point, also ends at the same point. Okay, that is your justified option. Another thing is, just similar to the justification, many a times you kind of want to make your text look a little cleaner. Let's say for some reason I don't like the amount of spacing that is present between these sentences, right? TF, BS, like wherever the sentences are starting, I kind of want them to be a little more spaced out, and I feel like it's cluttered. That is when you make use of this option, line and paragraph spacing. So just click on the drop down. Let's say I kind of want to increase the spacing. I can increase the spacing like this. You'll notice the changes. So I made it 1.5. I can make it like 2 also, to make it a lot more spaced out. For my case, I'll just keep it 1.5 right now. Okay, that's another option. Now let's say, I don't many of you would have noticed that a lot of times what happens is, you would have seen that paragraphs sort of start like this, right? There are many times that it happens that your paragraph starts like this. Let's say I have another paragraph also like that. I type enter and I just paste it. Okay, now if it's the same text, it's fine. Let me just say, okay, let's just say I copy one more paragraph from here. Let's say this paragraph. Okay, I'm just copying this as well over here, and I'm sort of looking to apply the same formatting, I'll just do a format painter over here. Okay, great. Now what has happened here is I want the paragraphs to start a little bit from the right, to be indented a little bit. Now I have indented this by clicking the space bar, right? This is the backspace and I am doing space bar. Now let's say I've clicked the space bar like 5 to 10 times. Now let's say I have multiple paragraphs and I want all my paragraphs to start in the same way and be indented. Now how do I do that? Like I can't just keep clicking space bar everywhere, right? That's a very time consuming process. So what I can do is I can just select my text here, and if you click on the drop down over here, there's a line spacing option. Okay, so what happens over here? If you see the indentation, there's a left and right indentation. Now, if you just click on the left or the right indentation, the entire paragraph will be indented by that much. What I mean is, let's just say I type 3 over here. So if I type 3, whatever paragraphs I've selected, both the paragraphs will be indented by 3 centimeters completely. Okay, this is done completely right now. Now I don't want it to be completely indented. I just want the beginning part of this to start from somewhere in between. How do I do that? I select this, I go to line spacing option. There is something called special here. So if you click the drop down, it says first line. So I just want my first line of each paragraph to be indented. I'll click on this and I can select centimeters. Let's say I just do 3 centimeters and click on OK. Now you will notice that only the first line of each paragraph has been indented by 3 centimeters and it's starting like this. So this can be uniformly applied to all your paragraphs within the document. Okay. And another basic option for paragraphs that you can also explore here is if you go to the line spacing options, there's also something called as spacing. So what is this spacing? Is basically the spacing between paragraphs, right? So if this is saying before is basically, if I just increase this, you can notice the difference. So the spacing between these before each paragraph starts. Before each paragraph starts, that's the important point here. So before this paragraph starts, I'm keeping a 24-point spacing. So basically it's going to start looking like this. I've increased the spacing between it, right? Now let's just say I will just undo that, and let me undo it, and line spacing option. So there's also an after option, like, you know, if you kind of increase it after each paragraph is completed, that will also get applied. And these are some of the basic options, and everything else is a little more advanced, but for preparing a basic document, this much should be good enough, right? Okay, so another thing that we would like to explore, which would be important, would be let's say the text color options, right? So basically this is one paragraph. So if you notice, like I said, this is the clipboard options, font options, and all these are options that are applied to a paragraph. Now I've shown you a text color option somewhere over here, right? So over there, only when I just select the word and I kind of select a color, that part of the text will get colored, like font color is being applied, right? Now let's say for some reason I kind of want to apply color to this entire paragraph. What do? I just have to click anywhere within the paragraph and just go to this fill option or shading option. Let's say I pick like a gray color right now. Okay, I've just picked. So the entire paragraph has gotten colored. Now if I place my cursor somewhere over here, this is one paragraph, this is empty space, but it's still one paragraph, and this is another paragraph, right? So how do I see which is which is a paragraph? Is I can also turn on this paragraph option, which will show me where my paragraphs are starting and ending, right? This is counted as one paragraph, this is counted as another paragraph, and this is counted as another paragraph. So I can also apply a color over here, if you'll notice. So I can just kind of apply black, it will get applied to this paragraph over here. Okay, I don't want to apply it there, I just want to apply it to this paragraph. So I can go ahead and apply gray to this also. Okay, so this is how you can apply color to your paragraphs. And I'll just turn this off for our convenience. And another thing is, if you kind of like for some reason want to apply a border, right? Let's say I kind of want to apply a border over here, which could just be, you know, a bottom. I have different options of borders: bottom border, like a top border, left border, right border, right? So for this paragraph, let's say for some reason want to apply like if it's a bottom border, this is what it look like. If it's top, it's this. Let's say for some reason I want to apply a left border. Okay, same way I want to apply it for this also. So I'll click on left border. So if you have seen kind of, you know, in references in documents, usually this is what it looks like, right? You kind of have, you know, text in a colored way, and you have like a left border that is given to it to kind of address talk about references within the document or something like that. So you can use these border options and text coloring options for those kind of features. Okay, all right. So we have, yes, discussed all these options within paragraph as well, and font and clipboard. Just pasted some content over here. Okay, I've just pasted some, just a basically list. Let's say I'm kind of preparing a Word document on programming, okay, programming in C or something like that, and I just want to kind of focus on the chapters and all of that. Let's say my first chapter is introduction to programming, second one is data structures, object oriented programming, and within each of my chapters I also consist of sub chapters like this, subtopics. Okay, so I've just pasted this for convenience so that we can understand the concept of styling more easily. Okay, and before we do styling, let's also say that this is called as, let's say the topic of this document is, let's say it is C programming or something. Okay, and within that I'm also trying to say that this is basics of C. Okay, this is a subtitle. Now let me just clear all formatting. Okay, so the concept of styling basically is, these are predefined styles. Now, what happens when you use predefined styles is, let us say that I want the styling applied to 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them to look completely the same, right? I can either use the formatting option, like format painter option, or what I can do is I can apply a same style to 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them. Now, the advantage of using this instead of Format Painter is, let us say for some reason I feel like I want to change the style of everything that is applied to 1, 2, 3, 4. In that case, styles becomes very useful. We'll go ahead and see that, but before we get into the styling of the headings and the subheadings, let's just style this. Okay, let's say I've kind of, for C programming, there are some predefined styles over here. If you just click on the drop down, I'm able to see something called as a title. So my C programming is generally my title, right? So I kind of just want to apply a title style over here. Okay, I don't have to go ahead over here and make a lot of selections and everything. It's a predefined style and I'm using it. Now let's say this is my subtitle, right? So I'll just go ahead and select subtitle. So it's looking very clean as is because I don't need to do any selection. These are predefined styles. Now let's say for each chapter I want to use the heading, because this is heading 1. So there is a heading 1, 2, 3, 4. You can extend it to how many ever headings you want, but this is their basically your heading options. Now what happens is, let's say I just want to select the heading, okay, because this is my first topic and this is heading 1. Now within my first heading, what happens is these two become my subheadings, right? They're heading 2 basically, because these are the subtopics within my main topic. So I'll select heading 2 for this. I will also select heading 2 for the next one also, okay, because these two are my two headings within the heading 1. Now what is the advantage of selecting heading option is, first thing is, many a times if I just want to kind of collapse this, you can see these small little arrow marks that are pointing over here, right? What I can do is I can collapse these. And how do I collapse these? In a hierarchical manner is how you collapse it. What do I mean by that? If I click on this, nothing will get collapsed because there's no content within this, right? I'll just click on this, nothing has been collapsed. Let's just say that for there was some content within this. Okay, when I try to collapse this, it's just going to hide all of that content and just show me the title. Okay, I have an option to do that so that I can cover up the text within each of these. Let's say for some reason there's also some other content within this and I kind of want to collapse this also, it can collapse it. Okay, what happens is whatever is within each heading will get collapsed when I click on the collapse option. What do I mean by that? Within this heading, this content is there, this will get collapsed. Within this heading, all of this content is present, so all of that will get collapsed. Let's just click on it and see. Got it? So all of it has gotten collapsed because whatever is present within this main heading. Okay, now that is happening because I have not applied headings to the remaining parts. Now what I'll go ahead and do is, I want 2 also to be a heading 1 because that is also my next topic. So I will make 2, 3, 3 as well, right? You need to select the entire thing. I will also make 3 as heading 1 and I will make 4, 5, 6 also my heading 1s because these are basically all names of chapters. So all of them will be my heading 1. Now what I'll also do is, I'll make all of this heading 2. Okay, this is heading 2. All of these sub things will become my heading 2. Okay, Now, for some reason, sometimes it might also happen that I have a heading 3, a heading 4. Basically, subtopics within each topic can be categorized further, and you can make use of all of these headings. I'm just using two headings right now. A two-level hierarchy is what I'm using. You can use 3, 4, 5, 6, any level hierarchy. So I'm just making this also heading 2 and this also heading 2. Okay. So this is what I've done right now. So this is the collapsing option. Now if I go ahead and collapse one, only one will get collapsed and these 2, 3, 4 will not get collapsed because these are separate headings in themselves. Understood? Whatever is there within this section, only that has gotten collapsed. Now let's say I just collapse 2 for your reference. Only 2 will get collapsed because this is a separate heading in itself, all of these. Okay. That is the advantage of using these headings and titles. Now, why did I say that, we can use heading instead of format painter is the beautiful advantage is what have I done now? I've applied heading 1 style to all of these, right? To 1, if you see 2, 3, 4, 5, I've applied heading 1 as a style to all of them. Got it? What happens now is if I go ahead and just kind of right click on heading and say modify. Let's say for some reason I don't like the color blue because it's getting mixed with all the other colors, right? This is also blue, this is also blue. I want my heading 1 to be in some other color, let's say purple or something. What I can do is I don't have to select anything over here. I'll just right click on heading 1 and click on modify. Once I modify it, let's say I just change the color and let's say I make it orange right now for it to be more visible to us. What happens is everything that has been marked as using the heading 1 style has changed its style. So I did not have to apply it once again to everything. I did not have to use the format painter once again. All I had to do was change and modify the style of the heading 1 and that got applied wherever I have used heading 1, it got applied over there. Let's say for some reason I want to change the style or color of heading 2 also. Let's say I change the size also. It's too big. I don't like how big it is. So I'll reduce the size and I'll also use a different color. Let's say I use green. Okay. Now what happens is everything that has been marked as heading 2 has gotten changed. If you notice here, let's make it a little darker so that you're able to read through it. Let's use a darker green and you'll be able to read through it. Okay. So everything where I've used heading 2 as the style has gotten changed. That's the advantage of using these predefined styles. So once you use this style and create any text, any formatting change that you want to make, you can make it over here and it will get applied everywhere wherever you have used these styles. Okay, so what do I mean by that? You can also see it in the title or subtitle options. I just have to go here and modify these. Okay, that's the advantage of styling options, and there are a variety of styling options. You can also create a new style. Okay, you can create styles for headings, you can create it for titles, for subtitles, for tables, for paragraphs. You can create styles for different kind of components within a Word document. Okay, for now we'll explore only this much for a basic beginner level, and we'll see one more important advantage of using this headings within the styles, you within Word, MS Word. Okay, which is a very important feature, which is basically how do you create a contents table. Many a times you would have noticed that this is my text. My text is starting over here, but before this begins, I kind of want contents of this over here, right? Let's just say that we'll take this whole thing to a new page. Okay, we'll take all of this to a new page, and my main concern is before all of this begins, I basically want there to be a contents page over here. Okay, now how can I create a contents page automatically without having to type it out? And if you've ever seen, contents will have ABC, and then it'll also have dot 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 dot, and there'll be a page number here, and then I'll have to do a lot of alignment and everything to create this contents page, right? So how can I automatically create it? That is the advantage of using the headings over here. I'll just show you now how to create. You have to go within references over here. Once you go to references, there's a table of contents option over here. What you do is just click on the drop down, and there are a couple of automatic options: automatic table 1, table 2, manual table, etc. Right? So if you choose automatic table, it's giving you the explanation. How does this automatic table 1 look? It basically consists of, it looks like this: contents and heading 1 2 3, and this is going to just say table of contents 1 2 3. I don't want it to just say contents, I want it to say table of contents, so I'll just pick this. Okay, now once I've picked it, what has happened is it has automatically populated all of my table of contents by picking heading 1 and heading 2, heading 3, etc. Right? you can clearly notice that introduction to programming, data structures, object oriented programming, it has picked all of my headings. These are all my heading ones, heading 1, 2, 3. Now what is inside this is heading 2, right? This is heading 2, this is also heading 2, heading 2. So basically it has picked all of the heading 1s and all of the heading 2s as well. I don't have a heading 3. If there's a heading 3, it will probably go ahead and pick that as well, right? Let me just illustrate an example. If you see within one, there is just a heading, I think heading 1, heading 2 is there, that's all. I have just pasted two headings, I think, within this, right? This is the introduction to programming. I think this was marked as heading 1 wrongly. Sorry, this was heading 2, right? So this is your heading 1 and this is your heading 2. So right here, now what happened, also another important thing is, if you notice, I made a change over here, right? Initially this was marked as heading 1 and this was also marked as heading 1, but I went ahead and updated this because this was wrongly marked as heading 1, this was actually heading 2. Okay, now what happens over here, if you see, it's marking this as heading 1 itself still. What will happen? How can I update this? There is an update option also over here. Every time you make changes to any of these headings, headings 1, 2, 3, whatever, from which you have built your table of contents, what happens is you can update it immediately over here. Once you update it, you'll notice that this history becomes history and evolution will change into heading 2. I'll just update it and show. Click on update. Update, you'll get two options: update page numbers only or update the entire table. I want the whole table to be updated. Click on update entire table and okay. Now this has gotten updated over here. If you kind of want to observe the updation more clearly, let's just say for some reason I say introduction to C programming. Okay, right now if you notice over here, it was just saying introduction to programming. Just to illustrate to you, I'm going to show you. I've made a change here. I've changed it to introduction to C programming. Now I need to update the table because again I have changed the title, so I don't want to go ahead and type it again. All I have to do is click here and click on update table. Update the entire table. It has gotten updated to C programming. Got it? So that's how you use these table of contents. Now another option over here is see, all you have to do is there are different styles over here. There was one style, there's another style. I can just select contents, which was the first style, which is the second style is table of contents. Now I can also do manual. Whenever you say manual, it is not going to pick from your headings. That is something you'll have to keep in mind. Okay. Whenever it's like a manual table, it cannot automatically pick from your headings because you will have to type it in. It says type the character type the chapter title, type the chapter title, right? So let's just use that and see. So here in this case, it will give you the structure, but what you have to do is you will have to type these over here for yourself, right? And you can go ahead and do that. But if you already have used these heading styles, then it becomes very convenient for you to automatically populate one of these two styles and get the contents. Okay. Another thing that you can just see is a quick updation of some of the settings here, an important basic level settings we'll just look into. Let's just say you want to customize it a little bit. Now let's say for some reason I want the table of contents, but I don't want the subsections to be listed. I just want the chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, 4, 5, 6 to be there. I don't want heading 2 and heading 3 to even be present because it's not very useful. I just want to refer to only chapters in my heading. How do I do that? So basically, there are two options over here, which is a print preview and a web preview. Okay. Print preview is basically when you kind of print this document, what is it going to look like? You will, by common sense, we know that if I'm going to print it out, I cannot hyperlink the pages. Another thing before we go ahead is, if you notice, you can also click on these. Basically, when I just come out of this contents and let's just say, okay, let me just come out of the contents and click on escape. Okay, what I can do is, if you just see, I will be able to click on these chapters. What happens when I click on these is it's going to take me exactly to that chapter. Let's say I want to go to chapter 4 and I don't want to scroll through, right? I will just click on chapter 4 and it is going to take me directly to chapter 4. That's an advantage of hyperlinking. Okay, that it automatically happens on your table of contents. You don't have to do it. But when we customize our table, if you see, there's a print preview and web preview version. So of course, hyperlinking is only going to work on a web version. If you are kind of printing out this Word document, then hyperlinking doesn't make sense. At that point, only page numbers will make sense so that people can come here, look at what page number it is on, and kind of turn the pages to that specific page so that they can go to that specific chapter. So if you kind of want, even in the web version, to use the hyperlinks instead of page numbers, you can tick this option. This option has to be ticked, otherwise you'll just get page numbers. If I tick this option, it's basically going to hyperlink it. Hyperlinking it is what is going to allow you to click on that chapter, which will take you directly into the chapter wherever that page starts. Okay, so that's the advantage. This should be turned on for you. Another thing is showing levels. I like I said, for some reason I don't want it to show me the other sub levels. I just want it to show me the first level. This is the first level, this is the second level, this is the third level. So here three levels are there, that's why it's showing up to heading 3. If I increase it to 4, it'll show me heading 4, heading 5, heading 6, blah, whatever, right? If you just scroll down, I've increased the levels to 6. Now let's say I just want the first level to be visible. I'll just click on 1 and I'll say okay. Okay, now replace this table of contents. Yes, I wanted to replace. That is what has happened. Only the heading 1 has come over here because I want only that much. I don't want the remaining sub contents to be displayed over here. Okay, so this is how you use your table of contents, and this is how you kind of update the table every time you make changes, and you can customize it to see whichever levels you want. And at a basic level, this should be sufficient while you're preparing your Word document. And this is how we have used the styles as well. Okay, so we have largely discussed pretty much the entire home tab consisting of clipboard, font, paragraph, styles, and also the references where we have seen the table of contents, and we have discussed most of the basic features which are sufficient or good enough at a beginner level. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful, and if any of you have any questions, you can feel free to drop it in the comment section, and I will make sure that I can answer your questions to the best of my knowledge. And we will continue the remaining in the subsequent parts to come. We will explore some of the other command tabs as well, and the important features that are present inside these command tabs as well. For now, this should be good enough for all the beginners to start making their Word document, create a table of contents, and explore all these features that are available within the home tab. And yeah, so we will go ahead and discuss the subsequent remaining tabs in the subsequent videos. As of now, please feel free to go ahead and start preparing your Word document, explore all the options that we have discussed in the home tab and the content section. And if you have any questions, do feel free to drop it in the comment section, and I'll try to answer them. But I'll come back with another video on the remaining sections as well. Okay, so see you in those videos, guys. Hope this was helpful, and have a great day. All right, bye bye.